Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Andrea Guerzoni. He's the global vice chair of strategy and transactions at EY. We're going to take a look at M&A trends and developments in the first half of 2022, and of course, his outlook for the remainder of the year. Andrea, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
My pleasure.
Let's talk about private capital trends that you're seeing in both the equity and debt portions of a transaction.
For sure, there's a declining trend in private equity in particular, whilst private debt, I think, is more important, is becoming more relevant in today's environment. Overall, I think it's fair to say that it's a very uncertain period for deal making overall.
I also noted that you have something called friendshoring to continue, where CEOs are more comfortable pursuing transactions with friendly pockets rather than having more of a global outlook. Tell us more about that trend.
That's absolutely right. I think the globalization trends have not stopped despite the geopolitical uncertainties. But it's true that actually buyers are definitely privileging targets in countries where they understand better the politics, they can deal better with the complexity of deal making, and the scope and the range of deal making has changed quite significantly. So you can clearly see this is a secular trend. I mean, it's been going on for at least the last decade, but it has accelerated quite significantly over the last couple of years, and in particular over the last 24 months.
Do you expect to see a continued decrease in mega deals? Where are investors putting their money?
Mega deals are becoming more and more complex in this environment for a variety of reasons. Really, the geopolitical tensions is one. I mean, large deals tend to involve a variety of different jurisdictions, and this, as I said, it's an element of complexity. Debt is also becoming more expensive and sometimes really more difficult to find. And so I think that the overall perception of risk has changed quite significantly, and the big deals tend to attract obviously big risks. So I think that you can see over the last 6 months, say from the beginning of the financial year, and the trend in terms of big deals is flattish declining. And I do expect that this is going to continue if the current circumstances remain the same.
Yeah, especially with the valuation reset that we've seen, not only in the private markets, but the public markets as well. And, you know, the global M&A activity has been somewhat resilient through a number of the seismic shocks that we saw, whether it's the coronavirus or it's geopolitical tensions and so forth. Could the global M&A market survive or be as resilient as it has been should we get another major event?
This is a very good question. I think that over the last couple of months, in the first semester in particular, I think we have observed a certain degree of resilience. I mean, after last year bonanza in terms of deal making, certain level of adjustment was expected that it happened during the first semester of this financial year. I think July, August have been very quiet months, and for a variety of reasons. I think that the next couple of months are going to be the defining one for this financial year. And again, a big shock, another big event from a geopolitical standpoint. I mean, something bad happening in the debt market, something like that could really cause a further slowdown. That's not unthinkable.
So, should things, if they remain the same, kind of status quo for the remaining 4 months of the year, do you expect deal activity to uptick as we get, through the end of 2022?
I do believe so. I think that compared to the last couple of months, we've been particularly quiet. I think not too different actually from the trends recorded pre-COVID, but particularly quiet compared to the last 18 months for sure. I would envisage some increase in the level of activity September, October, November, December, provided that we don't have other further shock, and probably we can have I would say a normal M&A year for 2022.
All right, Andrea, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq.
A real pleasure.